Hey guys, it's Big Black. I'm here to kick off this Big Black USA podcast. You are welcome. Alright, so I been searching the internet and I was seeing this. I saw someone from Pakistan or Qatar. Qatar was pissed because I guess Israel attacked them or something. I'll find that video a little bit later. I'm going to skim through this one to the key points here that we found. They were talking about how Israel is a aggressor, an occupier, a serial violator. Check this part out.
I'm obliged to take the floor to respond to some comments. The representative of Israel perhaps did not listen attentively to all council members and other speakers in today's debate. And in our view, it is unacceptable, indeed ludicrous, for an aggressor, an occupier, a serial violator of UN Charter and international law, that is Israel, that does rising.
And here's another one. Skip ahead a little bit.
It is an occupier that does not listen to anyone. That refutes, and not just refutes, it threatens members of the international community, international media, international human rights and humanitarian organizations. And like all occupiers, despite being the aggressor, it feigns and plays the victim. But today it is totally exposed. President, this council has spent decades discussing the situation in the Middle East and the Palestinian question. Meeting after meeting, we devote hours to this agenda. It is not because of anyone else. It is because of Israel that refuses to vacate its illegal occupation. Counterterrorism efforts. And we remain committed in this global, collective endeavor. And we cannot accept insinuations from an irresponsible rogue state.
Wow.
That is, in fact, the perpetrator of worst kind of state terrorism that we are witnessing in Gaza and, in fact, in the occupied Palestinian territories for decades. And we reject any false analogy, as has also been done by Qatar.
The brotherly state and people of Qatar.
It's Algeria now. Going in
The
on
recent attack in Doha is more than a violation of sovereignty of a UN member. It is an affront to diplomacy itself. It targeted a commended mediator working tirelessly to end the bloodshed in Gaza. It is irrefutable proof that the Israeli occupying power does not seek peace, does not seek peace, does not seek the release of hostages, does not seek the end of hostilities, but thrive on war.
To extinguish one of the few undermining such a credible and indispensable mediator threatens to extinguish one of the few viable pathways towards a just and lasting peace. Targeting Qatar is thus not only an attack on a sovereign state, but also an attack on diplomacy and mediation itself. Pakistan.
Now, of course, this is Israel's rebuttal. It's I don't. Yeah, I kind of get what they're coming from what I heard, but I'm gonna let you. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Here you go.
A further statement. I give them
Thank you, Mr. President. You know, if the distinguished colleague from Pakistan wanted to read the statement, he could have done it at the beginning of the session. But I want to refer to your words. You know, maybe you got offended from the word of my speech, and I apologize for that. But I make sure that in my speech I stick to the facts. And the fact is that Osama bin Laden was killed in Pakistan. And no one condemned the US. And when other countries in this council attack terrorists, no one condemns them. And that is the issue of double standards. When you apply different standards on Israel, then the standard you apply on yourselves, that is the problem of this institution. So yes, you cannot change the fact that 9/11 happened, and today we mark this day. You cannot change the fact that Osama bin Laden was in Pakistan and he was killed on your territory. But I would ask you, when you criticize us, and I'm sure it will continue in the future, think about the issue of double standards, which standards you apply to your country, and which standards you apply to Israel. Thank you, Mr. President.
It's heavy. Yeah. So I don't know what all of that is going to come to. Seems pretty intense. A lot of countries now are speaking up. But I'm just now getting into this politics thing, right? So I don't know how long. They've probably been barking like this for a long time, but maybe. And then they couldn't do anything because the U.S. was stepping in, but now the U.S. is kind of like, hey, you need to stop, and they're still flexing over there. I don't know. It's pretty weird, pretty crazy. Something to think about. I'll come up with some more stuff for you guys. Glad to see you, and welcome.